That day, my mother knelt at the bank entrance, clutching her face and crying. "You don't do this, the family will fall apart." I stood on the steps watching her. The woman who once laughed while taking every penny of my savings, now sobbing over a frozen card. I didn't say a word. I just turned and walked away. Her voice called my name, chasing me with panic and regret, like wind against an iron gate, cold and powerless. At that moment I realized something: what we call family is really just about who learns first to let go. 3 days earlier, during dinner, my mother said suddenly, "Can't you be more like your sister?" She put down her chopsticks, her voice cold and sharp, like porcelain clinking against a table. The living room lights were too bright, highlighting the forced expressions of everyone at the table. Father was carving the roast chicken, while my sister, Guzi, toyed with a gold necklace, smirking with satisfaction. I put down my chopsticks and smiled. The standard for being good is, who are you trying to please? Father raised his head, the wrinkles between his brows forming a deep furrow. Stop being sarcastic at the table. She's not sarcastic, my sister interjected, her tone sickly sweet. She's just jealous. In that instant, the air thickened with greasy sweetness and ridicule. I looked down and continued cutting the meat, hand steady, heart steady. But her words pierced me like a nail. My name is Lena. I'm 30 and work as a financial analyst. I own 2 apartments, 3 investment funds, and a bank account my family has always treated like an ATM. Mother often said, "When anyone in the family has a problem, you should help. You've made something of yourself, after all." Help the family? That just drains me. Mortgage payments, medical bills, my sister's wedding, my father's retirement shortfall, all came from my accounts. Every transfer and payment earned only vague, fleeting gratitude, as if it were simply my duty. Last winter, I was hospitalized from overwork. While on N4, my phone kept ringing. Mother had sent a transfer request with the note, "Help cover your sister's renovation deposit." I looked at the message and smiled. She didn't ask if I was sick. She only asked if the money had arrived. The day I was discharged, I walked the hospital corridor for a long time, my shoes soaked. Suddenly it hit me. This family wasn't just taking from me. It had been training me how to be drained. 3 months later, I was promoted to department vice manager. I gained new clients, new keys, and with that control over numbers came the first real understanding of power. As the spring festival approached, Mother began her annual reunion dinner. I had planned to refuse, but her calls kept coming. "If you don't come, everyone will say my daughter has too much pride." I smiled and agreed. "I'll be there." That evening, the atmosphere was as usual, noisy, artificially warm. Roast duck and delicacies filled the table. My sister, Guzi, wore the diamond ring I had given her 2 years ago. She said, "Sis, you're a leader now, right? You should help. Dad and Mom's car is practically falling apart." Mother nodded, her voice soft but commanding. "Ching Ching, your salary is high, pay half." I looked up at that entitled face and realized I had been an automatic teller for years. "Fine," I said with a smile. "But let's do the math." They froze. "What math?" Father raised an eyebrow. I pulled out my phone and opened a spreadsheet, the screen reflecting on their faces. "In the past 5 years, I've covered 487,000 yuan for the family mortgages, medical bills, renovations, tuition. Everything is itemized." I pointed line by line. Mother's face paled. "Why are you keeping track? This is family, not a company." "Family has ledgers too," I said softly, each word firm. Sister scoffed. "You're not seriously going to make us pay back, are you?" I smiled. "Of course not." I put down my phone and pulled out an envelope with authorization documents and copies of bank cards. "From now on, your utilities, insurance, and loans will no longer be drawn from my accounts. This is the last time." Mother's face turned ice cold. "You're crazy. Without you, how will this family function? Then learn to function yourselves." Her chopsticks slammed on the table with a crack, sauce splattering. I wiped my sleeve and continued eating. Father shouted, "Ching, don't forget who raised you." I looked up calmly. "I haven't forgotten. I just refused to be chained by gratitude." The air froze. My sister's smile stiffened. She opened her mouth to speak, but I stood, folded my napkin, and placed it on the plate. "Thank you for the meal." I turned toward the door. That night, I returned to my apartment. The world was quiet, like a new beginning. 3 days later, my phone blew up. Mother's card declined, father's loan payments failed, and my sister's wedding suppliers demanded new deposits. I sat in the office with a cup of coffee, watching each message pop up, expression calm. At noon, Mother stormed into the office red-eyed, carrying a bag of fruit. "Are you trying to kill us?" she shouted. I set down my cup, voice low and steady. "Mom, don't. The banking system is fine. The accounts are just no longer shared. This is unfilial." Her hands trembled. I looked at them. Hands that had once worked tirelessly for the family. Hands that had struck me more than once. "Mom, unfilial is being drained and having to smile thank you." She froze, lips pale. That afternoon, she left the office crying. I watched her retreating back. No pain, only a long-delayed calm. At night, I sat at my computer, organizing 5 years of accounts and archiving them. Then I sent an anonymous email, reporting Guzi's beauty company for fraudulent accounting and illegal financing. All evidence came from the ledgers I had once managed for her. 2 weeks later, tax authorities intervened. Her company accounts were frozen, business partners withdrew. Guzi called me over 20 times. I didn't answer. On the third day, she appeared at my apartment, makeup smudged. "Sis, I was wrong, please help me. I'm done for." I leaned against the doorframe, calm. "Done? That's just where your lessons begin." Tears streamed down her face. "I didn't mean it. Those words back then, trying to shame me so you'd feel loved?" I finished her sentence. She froze, unable to reply. I sighed and gently closed the door. The click echoed down the hallway. Half a month later, my father called, exhausted. "Ching, can you help a little? Mom hasn't slept." I looked out at the lights. "Dad, I've always helped, just in a different way." "What do you mean?" "I donated all the money I used to cover, in our family's name, 30 female students' tuition. The news will report it tomorrow." He was silent. Then quietly, "Are you trying to shame us?" "No," I said, smiling. "I just want us to finally live up to the word good." He said nothing further. The next day, the story hit local headlines all day. Photos showed school representatives shaking hands with the Gu family. Comments were full of praise. Mother called, voice hoarse. "Everyone's praising us." "Yes," I said. "This time it's truly a good deed." Her low sigh came through the line. I heard her choke. "Ching, you've grown up." I smiled, saying nothing. In April, my startup project was approved, and the foundation officially launched. The Return Path, helping financially controlled women regain independence. Asked why the name, I said, "Some people spend a lifetime running on tracks set by others. I want them to have a path home, truly their own." At the launch, the audience applauded. I saw my sister at the back, eyes complex. Afterward, she approached quietly. "Sis, I know the donation was from your own money, right?" I looked at her, silent. She bit her lip, eyes red. "I want to start over. Can you teach me to manage money?" I paused, then nodded. "Yes. But this time you must first learn to keep track." She smiled, awkwardly but sincerely. At that moment I realized some revenge isn't destruction. It's showing the other side the ruins they built. Night fell, but the foundation office lights stayed on. Outside, the wind moved the poster. "Independence isn't betrayal. It's coming home." I closed my laptop, gazing at the city. The lights looked like countless broken pieces of my heart, forming a new shape. My phone vibrated. A voice message from my mother. "Ching, today I went to the temple and lit incense for you. I hope all is well." I listened, a twinge of emotion surfacing. Not forgiveness, just the end of resentment. I replied, "Mom, I'm well. You need to learn to live well, too." The wind drifted in, carrying the night's warmth. I raised my glass and whispered to myself, to the self who finally learned to say no. Lights out. Night deep. The city slept.